Oh, guys, welcome in. Week 2, it's here, and I'm fired up. And for the next hour, we're going to be placing some bets from arbitrage, positive EV, a little DFS. We have a lot to unpack, and it's going to be a lot of player props. So when we arrive at this point of the NFL week, Sunday mornings, right? And apologies for my voice, a little hoarse. Watched the Canelo fight last night. It was a crazy time. When we arrive at this point of the NFL on a Sunday morning, I'm not really looking to place money line, spreads, or total bets. I am focusing on player props because I gobbled up my value throughout the week betting on totals and spreads and the money lines. So something really important to note. Also, what's important to note, if you're looking to make some really solid bets for week 4 college football, you want to look for today, this afternoon. Lines are going to be opening up for college football week 4. And that's when you're going to really see the highest and best value. For NFL, for week 3, you're going to want to pay attention to either tonight or tomorrow and Tuesday. Monday through Wednesday is really a prime time for college football and NFL betting spreads, money lines, and totals. So that's why I'm not focused on betting them today. All right, let's get into it. Let's go, and let me move myself off to the side. You're sad yesterday, Irish? Sorry to hear that, brother. Sorry to hear that. The Canelo fight I ended up watching, I didn't watch the UFC fights. Canelo fight was really, really good. Especially the second fight with Mbili and Alvarez. Mbili and Alvarez was really good. Or was it Martinez? I can't remember the dude's last name. It was solid. It was a great fight, and then the Canelo fight was very good. So right now we're looking at the best slips from Better Dabble Flip, Rebet, and Underdog. So there we go. I'm just going to make sure I check this out. This is DGF's Slip Generator, guys. It's just going to search and scan all the available sports out there and shows us the plays that are where we want to attack because we're getting really good value or price, right? Matt, what's going on? Good morning. Skunky, what's going on? Let's have one today. No doubt about that. Matt K. Bot, morning. Doing pretty good. Voice is a little scratchy. Voice is definitely a little scratchy. Yeah, like throat. I felt good yesterday. Felt great. Woke up right now. Not sure what's going on in my throat, but we're gonna power through the stream, and then I'm gonna lock it in for the Steelers and the Seahawks here in a little bit. Yeah, Martinez and Billy, man. I mean, these dudes just for 10 straight rounds were the energy was there. Can't believe no one got knocked out, but it was a great fight. I'm going to peep this over on Underdog to see. I don't know if I can. Underdog, it's like some League of Legends I can create, some I can't. I'm sure it's certain leagues that I can and can't, but for some reason, some I can, some I can't. So I'm going to check this out. Because if I can, then I'll obviously share this with you guys. It doesn't look like it's there anymore. Upset. No, it's not. Yeah, it's not, these two plays aren't popping up for me on Underdog. So let's see. All right, so I'm not going to be able. Hopefully, you guys can copy and paste this one. Then we got a 5 pick and a 6 pick. I'm obviously always going to opt for the 5 pick. Make sure that you guys have used your Travis Kelce free square. I'm going to share this with you guys here. I use mine, and we're going to cash right here. This is how I used mine. And so this is a guaranteed winner. Just got to wait for that to happen. This Texas A&M game was nuts. This game was pretty crazy, but obviously the Georgia-Tennessee game was the wildest of them all. This slip is looking healthy. What's the other one that's looking kind of healthy? Yeah, we lost on the Weathers one, so we can only double our money on this one. But okay, we'll see how it goes. So let's go back to the board. I only have about $7 in the account, guys. But so I'm only going to be able to place probably like 2 slips because I'm just not going to. I can only do $5 a slip. But we're going to grab this one here. So if you haven't, make sure that you throw in the Travis Kelce free square. This is going to be a flex entry. Come on now. Come on. There we go. And there we go. We'll copy and paste this bad boy here and share that with you guys. Yeah, happy Sunday, Richard. What's going on, man? Matt, got hosed yesterday with NCAA football. Basically wiped out my profit for the month. Yeah, I had a really tough day too, for sure, yesterday. Yesterday was a really tough day. Um, yeah, I totally agree, losing streak. I mean, obviously, I don't follow boxing closely at all, right? So I'm just sitting, and my girlfriend is Mexican, so I had to put a bet. I had to put a bet on Canelo, which I was fine with doing. But the Billy fight and Martin, like we're watching this, and I just like look at the two fighters, and I'm like, well, like Martinez looks pretty decent, but like this Billy guy looks like as I say, he looks like a brick shithouse. This guy looks built. And then they come out there and both of them are bringing the energy. And they're both taking some punches and Martinez just keeps going. And obviously, if you guys didn't watch fight, ended up being a draw, no contest. Well, not no contest. It was a draw. Judges couldn't decide who won or lost, which definitely sucks if you're one of those two fighters that like put in all that much effort. But I don't really disagree because, it was really slim. The margin was slim. On the other hand, hats off to Bud because that dude just kind of slowly wore down Alvarez for sure. This is an all touchdowns one. Couple unders, couple overs. That was what we just hit up. What about this better slip here? Can we hit this up? Yeah, we could do better. We can always do better with sports betting, but let's go and let me log into better here. I'll throw this 5-pick entry up. Again, guys, if we're going after 5-pick slips, I'm not putting the mortgage down on these plays. Okay? We're talking about 5-pick parlays. These are long shots, right? So I'm usually putting a quarter of a unit. Let's look. James Cook, under on his rushing attempts. But let me know if anyone ended up watching the Noche UFC fights. I saw that Diego Lopes knocked out his dude. I haven't watched any of the highlights or anything. I was only focused on the boxing match. But would love to hear if anyone watched the UFC fights, kind of how that went. If it was good, not good. Because it was, Dana White was there in Vegas for this boxing match, which was crazy. It was a star-studded event for sure in Vegas last night. RJ Harvey, all right, rushing attempts. And then let's look at Bailey Ober. Still got baseball going on, guys, but I'm not going to lie. As I mentioned this yesterday, I'm going to mention this for the next couple days. I'm really winding it down on my baseball betting for the regular season. If two teams are going up against each other and they have something to play for, then cool. Let's refresh this page. I'm going to share this 5-pick better entry with you guys, but I'm really winding it down. Recrap says, Billy got a boost on a site on Crawford from plus 133 to plus 1,000. Only was a $5 wager, but definitely. Dude, that's awesome. To get that at plus 1,000, no doubt. That's a very, very massive EV play. It's a no-brainer, especially for $5. All right, what else do we got here? So I'm looking to see if we got a 4-pick power. Really? Okay, we're already on the Genty play and the Cook play. Another 5-pick on better. We got a lot going on with PrizePicks. A lot. 3-pick power. I'm always interested in these 3-pick powers. If you don't want to play that 5-pick slip, guys, that we just played, play this as a 3-pick power. Also, take off one of these dudes, add in the Travis Kelce free square, right? Play a 3-pick power when you have one free square. Now it's really just a 2-pick because you just need 2 picks to hit. So, or play a 2-pick entry just in general. If you could play this on as a 2-pick over on Underdog, you don't see this too often, but this would be a great play. And these are all over 5% EV edge. So you can see I'm bypassing a lot of 5 and 6-pick slips. I'm looking for the 2 picks, baby. 2 picks, 3 picks, where they at, right? So, yeah, typically, if you guys want to continue to bet on baseball, that's no problem. But really for player props, there's just this time of the year where things are a little bit different. There's certain teams that are clearly out of the playoffs and some teams that are already clinched a spot. But for a decent amount of teams, they're still fighting for position, right? So they're still going to play their normal dudes. But I like to go after games and matchups, and this is going to be the same towards the end of the NBA regular season, where I'm going to kind of fade. I'm just not going to bet player props. I'm just going to focus on money line spreads or run lines, totals, money lines when it comes to baseball for certain teams, certain matchups. So if I'm looking at, so to kind of put this in practice, if I'm looking at today's slate of baseball games, right, I really want to go after, let's see, what would be a matchup? Maybe the Rangers and the Mets, right? Rangers are 2 games back. The Mets, the Rangers and the Mets would be a game that I would look to go after because both teams have a lot to play for. Giants and the Dodgers. Giants have something to play for still. Dodgers trying to wrap it up. And then the Yankees and the Red Sox, right? Yankees and the Red Sox are right there. They're neck and neck with each other. So those would be for their wild card position. So those would be some games. Those would be specific games, 3 specifically, that I would have no problem going after and betting. But outside of that, I'm not looking to do too much. Ooh, we got a couple 2 picks. Man, I know these are lower percents, guys. It's just, if you want to take this 6-pick entry, that's fine. But we've seen this 6-pick entry chopped up a couple different ways, but I'm just not going to do that. Brew Crew Skunky, no doubt about that. Yeah, it was a crazy game last night too. It's just nice seeing when it's a Saturday, we got fights, we got football, we got baseball. So again, guys, your profitable opportunities are all going to depend on what's going on in the sports betting market. And so that's where we really live. That's where it's going to be. So hopefully you're able to take advantage of it. But I had a very tough day yesterday betting college football. It really was probably for me, it was a top, yesterday was probably like a top 5, maybe top 7 days out of the entire calendar year, which was one of my worst days. And that's going to happen if you bet sports like I do 95% of the year. You're going to have some days that are your best and you're going to have some days that are your worst. So yesterday was definitely a tough one to take on the chin. But, I still trust that, the way, and I'll touch briefly, guys, for those of you that had a tough day. While we're looking at some different plays here, I'm just going to talk briefly about the psychology of losing and picking yourself back up and getting back out there. I don't need to tell you how to keep sports betting if you're winning, right? Everybody on Twitter is going to tell you that they're winning. Everybody's going to tell you we're winning, we're making money, right? So you don't want to go to X to see that. But hopefully where you can find some value here is some honesty and transparency. Is that when you have losing days, what makes the losing days a little bit easier, they still really suck, okay? There's no way around it, is that knowing that I've had days like this before over the years, right? This is my 4th year doing this. So having a little bit of season, I'm a seasoned veteran, a little bit more than what I was before. That really helps enduring these losses. Very, very much so. Okay. If we're looking at this DraftKings pick 6, I just focus on the Pinnacle and FanDuel lines, really. So, and if you see me check a play off, guys, while I'm going on this rant, you know that this is a play that I like. Okay. So that's really what makes the losing not as bad. Knowing that I've been here before, knowing that, we've taken some really tough losses, and knowing that we're going to be all right. The edge is going to play itself out. I'm going to have some tough days, but it's all right. It's okay. We'll move on from it. It's going to be all right. Because knowing that I've gotten myself in a hole and then dug myself out of it and then rose up from that is a way that I can do it. And mostly, guys, if you're new to sports betting, I'm just really talking about positive expected value betting. Because if you're deep in a whole arbitrage betting, then DM me, because you're really executing arbitrage the wrong way, right? But this is just all about positive EV betting. So that helps it. But it doesn't matter, guys. When I see that, dude, I'm losing, 65% or 60% of my bets today, and I had a big slate yesterday, that still doesn't make it easy. It's still very difficult. But, having that previous experience definitely helps. So I really like the Mac Jones and Bucky Irving play. All right, Graham Gano. This is important. 5.5 is important. So I like the Graham Gano play too. That would be probably my 3 pick. Graham Gano, Mac Jones, Bucky Irving. Not really in on Evan Ingram or Newsome. Yeah, that would be the 3 pick. Yeah, Matt, of course, man. Always. What's going on, Rick? Good morning to you, man. So yeah, that's kind of how that goes. Free Copyright Music asks, can we look at better promos to see if they're worth... I mean, if... Let me pull this off to the side and let me open up better. So, and let's look at Dabble for a second. See if we have any Dabble value. So I would say the promos might be worth running. It just depends on blast your payout with touchdown nukes. There are 4 nukes today on touchdown projections. Yeah, so I would say no, okay? Anytime that a sports book is already predetermining your slip, they're already picking the plays for you. I would say probably not. 4 nukes today on Tyreek Hill, Zay Flowers, Cortland Sutton, and Travis Kelce. So how would you determine this, right? So what you want to do is we'll go over here, and we're going to look at touchdown scores here in just a second, because that's one of the categories we'll definitely look at today. And we'll just pull up, where is the Dolphins game? Or the Chiefs game? I already passed up. Zay Flowers. Okay, Zay Flowers is one of the guys. So if you go to player touchdowns, which is going to be all the way down here at the bottom, and then we're looking for Zay, which he's going to be all the way down here. Okay, Zay's sitting at, 145 is the best price. We don't know what it is over at Better. So if I go over and I check out Zay Flowers touchdown, what you have to do when it comes to this slip, you're going to have to figure out with all 4 of these guys, what is $10 going to pay you out, okay? And so this is going to take a very long time to run the math, because we have to add all 4 guys to the slip. I mean, it's not going to take super long, but we're going to have to add all 4 guys to the slip, right? So I go, okay, Zay Flowers here. And then I'm going to have to go through all 4 of these other guys. So like Travis Kelce, right? Chiefs game. And I'm going to have to come down here to Travis and add his over, right? And then you're going to see up here, I'm going to have these guys, and then I'm going to have to add the other 2 guys. So add all 4 guys, figure out what the best odds are that you're receiving, okay? But the other thing is it's not just that. You have to figure out the fair value. You have to figure out what the fair value is here, which means you're going to want to take Pinnacle or Circa's number here, figure out what the fair odds is, find out what the fair odds is, grab that win percentage for all 4 people. So go find all 4 players, find their fair win percentage, multiply that together, those 4 numbers together. That's going to be, then that new percentage is your actual fair win percentage. Throw that in an odds converter calculator or an odds payout calculator. Find out what that fair win percentage should pay you out. Find out then what Better is going to pay you out. And that's how you're going to know if it's a good play or if it's a good promo or not. So unfortunately, for everyone else's interest in the stream, that's going to take me about 20 plus minutes to do. It might take me 20 plus minutes. So in the sake of everyone else in the stream, I got to keep it moving. But all you would do is just find the fair value for each player, take that fair odds, find out what that percentage is for each player, multiply the 4 percentages together, figure out what the new percentage is, see what that would pay you out, check out Better's price. If Better's paying you out more than that, it's good. And if they're not, don't. So that's what we go. Oh, Matt, dude, I always forget. You always told me about that yesterday. Yeah. So, dude, I literally repeated myself yesterday. I appreciate you, Matt. Thanks for keeping me on point. Yeah, so the Bucky plays not till Monday night. So Graham Gano, we would have to find a third play that would look kind of decent, for sure. So if we were to go back over and just double check this, I would say if I had to for leagues, right? I don't like the Pacheco play. I like Mac Jones. Newsom, no. Graham Gano, yes. What else? All right, I'd say Baker. I'd go Baker on this one, maybe. It's okay. But that's probably where I'd go with it. No, never mind. James Conner. The problem is here's the problem with the James Conner play. Carolina's defense is trash. I know it's just 1 week, but it was bad. So as much as like this is a good play, if you watch the Carolina Panthers game at all last week, they were horrible on defense. So I'd rather go with Baker. But if I'm okay but purely by the numbers standpoint, James Conner should be pretty good. Same. Well, you could do Mac Jones, you could do James Conner, and then Graham Gano. That would be the 3 pick. All right, let's see Edge Zone. What's going on? We'll talk about Edge Zone here in a little bit. They got a lot of things cooking. They got a lot of NFL props. We'll give out a player or two from the Edge Zone in terms of their player props. But we're looking at the arbitrage tool, right? And where a lot of sharp sports bettors, at least in my opinion, from the odds GM community, because I'm the same way. I follow the same path, right? Everybody starts out this way. Whether you're Arb Father, whether you're me, whether you're Arbologist, you start out arbitrage betting, and then at some point you make a decision. You either stay as an arbitrage bettor or you have a little higher propensity for risk, and you go after positive EV betting, and you start to learn that. And so first and foremost, though, this is where everyone basically starts. This is what hooks you in to sharp sports betting and teaches you how it works. So when you're looking at this play here on Mac Jones, guys, remember, this game's going to start in less than 2 hours. Bet Openly is a peer-to-peer sports book. So understanding your sports books is really key. So Bet Openly doesn't care how much money you wager. They don't. So this is a great play to bet the under. Then you go to BetMGM and bet the over, right? And you're going to make a 7% return off this investment, right? Plus odds on both sides. When you get the plus odds on the under, plus odds on the over, you're going to make cash. Day trade the books, make cash. So this is how you would execute it. So what you want to do is you want to log on to MGM and you want to log on to Bet Openly. You want to pull both plays up right next to each other, whether one's on your phone and one's on your computer, or you're right next to each other on your phone and you're double checking everything, and you got OddsJam pulled up. You're like, all right, $90 here, $100 here, and then next thing you know, you're gonna submit both bets within 5 seconds of each other. You're gonna submit the Bet Openly side first because there's not a lot of liquidity here. You want to lock this side in first. Then you're going to go over and hit the BetMGM side up second, right? BetMGM is going to have these odds for a minute, okay? But this liquidity is going to die on Mac Jones fairly quickly, okay? A little different now if we're talking about Hard Rock and Props Builder for player bases here in this Orioles-Blue Jays game. Both of these are recreational sports books, so you don't have to worry about that, right? But if you're looking at Noah Cameron here, you want to go lock this side in first over on No Vig because there's $700. So if you go bet this over at BetMGM first, and then I don't know, your wife or you go hit the John and you go outside for a minute to go to the bathroom, and then you come back, this liquidity might be gone at No Vig, and now you're in trouble because now you're like, all right, well I can't get this ARB anymore. I got to go over to ProfitX or Bet Openly, assuming you have these sports books. If all you have is No Vig, then you're in trouble because now you're going to lose money on this play. Why? When the plus odds number is larger than the minus odds number, you make money. But when the minus odds number is larger than the plus number, we lose. So if you have to go over to FanDuel, well, guess what? This is 110. That's the plus odds number. This is 118. This is a bigger number. That's not going to be a profitable trade. So you want to make sure on these exchanges that you go lock in that side first because that's going to be the most important one, right? That money's not going to be out there forever. And so I know that a lot of times people just tell you with arbitrage betting to place 2 bets on 2 books and lock it in. But I just wanted to take the time for a second, guys, to walk you through like which side you're going to want to attack first, because that's very important to note, right? Obviously, if you have more books, you can have more profitable opportunities. You can see Bovada is showing up here and here and here. It's all on Pacheco. So if you see a play like this popping up 3 times, guys, the side that is EV, that's very EV, is Bovada. Okay, because Bovada is matching up with 3 different recreational books. So don't run over to FanDuel to lock this side in first, because as you see, you have 3 different options here. Bovada is the one that really has the profitable side. To be fair, I would call this a palp on Bovada's side. This is a mistake made by Bovada because everybody has this at like minus 113 average odds, and they're at plus 150. And the sportsbooks make mistakes, guys. Remember, this tool's main job is to find discrepancies between all the books. So it's really easy to be like, I don't understand how Bovada is so off. Well, Bovada's on point on like 99.5% of their bets right now on the menu that they're offering. They just happen to be making a mistake here on the Pacheco play. So if I was you, I just wouldn't bet it. So that's what I would do. Let me catch up here. Patrick, do you have? Yeah, definitely skunky. Definitely no bueno. You don't want to do that, right? So I know, and see, now you can see it disappeared because Bovada realized like they made a mistake. So always open up these plays, guys. So like right here for this player receptions for this dude, Io Manor, there's only $99 over here on ProfitX. The ProfitX, this play is going to match up here and here. So this isn't a mistake with ProfitX because Bovada is a regular recreational sports book. ProfitX is a peer-to-peer book. So this is just me versus someone else. So you got to move quick, right? Don't worry about this play on the under. Just go get that over right now over on Io Manor. And because we're less than 2 hours away from the game starting, I'm okay with going after these plays. Definitely okay with it. So what else do we have going on? Patrick said, do you have any parlays like 3, like the strategy you show us? Pat, you mean like do I have any parlays that I like or any plays that I like? Or do you want me to break down? Could you be a little more detailed with your question? Are you looking for me to break down the exact strategy that I look for? By the way, just let me know in the chat. By the way, guys, we have an insanely long shot 3-leg parlay that I cooked up with my $5 bonus bet, and it's probably going to lose, right? But we hit the first leg yesterday. SMU versus Missouri State. We took Missouri State first quarter money line. So where is this bad boy at? Yeah. So already, guys, it's pretty crazy. Already, FanDuel's offering me a positive cash out. We cooked this $5 bonus bet up. It's almost plus 5,400 odds. Missouri first quarter winner, right? We got a couple first half unders today in the Cowboys game and the Raiders game. I'm already getting offered a $14 cash out because we hit a plus 500 leg, right? So I'm not going to take the cash out because it's only a $5 bonus bet, paying us out $269. But again, guys, if I'd have told you Missouri State, I love betting first quarter winners sometimes or first half winners sometimes on long shot underdogs just because they can come out and have a good first quarter. It happens all the time. So just interesting to see that. So we'll see how that unfolds today. Wanted to just take a little bit of time to focus with you guys and talk to you about arbitrage betting, right? If I have a Bally, see this play with Desert Diamond, Bally Bet Rivers, all 3 of these sports books have the same odds. All of them do. So the plus EV side, the bet that you want to lock in is with ESPN Bet. Why? Because you could see that Veronica Burton's shown 3 times, and I can get this, right? So this is how you want to go after this. Also, knowing that I have 3 different books, all in the state of Arizona, that have the same odds, I'm okay burning through one of these with an arbitrage, right? If you are lining up, you're getting into arbitrage betting. If you live where I live, or you live in Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania's got the same setup. They got Bet Rivers, they got Bet Parks, and they got Sugar House. This is where you're going to want to maybe take one of the books, like a Bet Parks or a Sugar House, and just arb with. And then if you want to save Bet Rivers for your positive EV betting, do that, right? You can chop up the strategy with these books in different ways. So that's all. Just wanted to kind of focus on that for just a second. Yeah, we hit that Irish for sure. Well, yeah, Patrick. I mean, I'll be happy to kind of break it down. I don't really remember. I stream every day, so I don't remember. I don't even remember what I ate yesterday. But I'll be happy to kind of show you. We're looking at some anytime player touchdowns. I think I have this as my save. Where's my save filters at? No, cancel. This shows you how very little or not very often do I use my save filters, because I have them. There they go. Save filters. They're right here. Anytime touchdowns. So again, guys, I'll show you in a second here, Patrick, what I mean. Make sure you update this, guys, to player touchdowns now, right? So if we type in touchdowns, make sure that you update this. Plus minus 150, DVIG settings is to Pinnacle. We have 17 results, okay? So if you're trying to figure out how much money you should put, if you want to run a parlay, right? Let's say you want to run Malik Neighbors and Achane anytime touchdowns, which actually don't look too bad. You want to know what the fair win probability is, okay? See this probability here? That's why I have it. If I go into an odds calculator and type in minus 107 spot 2, it's going to give me 51.7%. This is the exact same as this. This is the exact same as this. So all you're going to do is type in 0.517 times 0.404, because if you're running a two-leg parlay over on DraftKings for these guys, both of these plays need to hit in order for you to win. So you really have a 20.89% chance of winning, okay? So when we talk about this and you go to a calculator, you could go to a Kelly calculator, right? Assuming that you guys are using the Kelly method. And then over here, you're just going to add these to your parlays right here. Add parlay, Malik Neighbors, add parlay, okay? Come up here. You're going to see that we're getting odds of plus 433 on DraftKings. And interesting that Onyx isn't giving us quite the same price. So on a Kelly calculator, you're like, all right, I'm using quarter Kelly. I'm getting odds of plus 433. And my fair win percentage is 20.89%. Okay. So it's going to tell me like, yo, this is an over 11% edge. You're going to want to put 0.65% of your bankroll in this play. For me, it would be $100, right? This looks really good. So we're going to run so this is how we're saying this is what our fair chance is. We have a 21% chance of actually winning this two-leg parlay. But we're getting paid out more than what we should. We should run this over there. So there we go. Bet whale, Hamad, I would say get your money out while you can. It definitely has juice bet vibes. If you guys don't remember an old offshore book from a year plus ago, juice bet. I ended up losing around $1,500, $1,600 in the book because they just closed up shop, right? And I feel like Bet Whale is very similar in terms of their operation. So Achane over here on DraftKings. Obviously, Onyx isn't showcasing the same odds, which is kind of interesting. But I like this play. Pinnacle's at minus 119. FanDuel's at minus 120. This is just way off. Way off. Okay. I'm going to log in over here, guys. I'm going to put together this two-leg parlay. I'm going to double-check the Neighbors play. Cowboys defense isn't what it used to be. Again, this is just getting paid out way more than what we should be. So, again, I should be maybe putting $100 on this play. So, I'm going to go run a two-leg parlay over here on DraftKings. And I can't unfortunately, this is an older iPhone. So, it's like an iPhone 14. So, I can't showcase the screen share here. But just know I'm putting this in right now. So I get Neighbors here, and then I'm looking for Achane, which is also this morning, Patriots and the Dolphins. The Dolphins looked absolutely like garbage. Absolute garbage. But it's at plus 105. So again, then I come up here, and I'm just going to say, I'm just going to put in $100. And that's what I'm going to bet this as, based off my bankroll. Okay, we're in. We're in on Achane, and we're in on Neighbors. And so down here, as you guys can see, whoops, I'm just going to click the plus sign. And now the parlay's tracked on my bet tracker. You can see right there. Parlay's added to my bet tracker. But as you guys can see, when I put myself back up top here, like you run the same two-leg parlay over at Caesars, you're only getting paid out $451. So on my $100 wager, I'm getting paid almost $80 more from over at DraftKings compared to Caesars. That's a really big deal, right? So that's how we're going to rock a little two-leg parlay, okay? Anytime touchdowns. So that's always a lot of fun. Looks like you can also grab Tyreek Hill, right? Now it's a little different, guys. If you run an SGP over at ESPN Bet, there's not you're going to get this. You're not going to get the same price that you should be receiving here. SGPs, the books nerf this a bit when it comes to SGPs, and looks like they just changed this now to plus 120. So yeah, they moved off that. What else we got? Brian Thomas Jr. And let's look at Javonte first. Javonte scored 2 last week. Giants have a really good defense, but this looks to be a good play. Bet Rivers, any Canby Sportsbook. Let's take a look at this. And when I see all these books, guys, you can know they're all right here. Look at FanDuel. FanDuel just moved a lot. They just jumped in price a lot. Again, FanDuel, guys, while I like to beat FanDuel sometimes and bet into FanDuel quite a bit, especially for NFL props, I'm going to pay attention to their movement. They were about at minus 108. Now they're down to minus 120. So to get this at plus odds on any Canby Sportsbook is huge. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to log in over at Desert Diamond. Now, I did get limited yesterday betting player home runs on Desert Diamond, but I don't know if I'm going to get limited betting NFL touchdowns. Canby operates a little differently when they limit you. It's not like Bet365. Bet365, once you get limited, they limit you on every bet across the board. But depending on the markets that you like to wager into, it's a little different with Canby books. They're actually, I prefer the way Canby does it. So if I'm smashing player home runs all day long, they will limit me there, but they won't limit me on other props. So if we go touchdown score, guys, make sure you go in the far right-hand corner here. That's anytime. That's what we're looking for. Where's my boy at? I must have passed him. Or are they not offering? Oh, it's Cowboys. My bad. Javonte, plus 108. Ajam's telling me to bet $170. Okay, so let's put this in as 175. Oh, maybe I lied. I might have lied, guys. I'm only betting $10. That's a tough one. Okay, I might be limited across the board. Okay, I might be limited across the board. But I can always fire up my personal Bet Rivers account that I haven't used in a while and see how that goes. That's a tough one. And Javante's most likely going to score now because that's normally how it works. Ooh, Chase Brown. Yes, please. I know I bet him last week and he didn't score. But even though Pinnacle's chilling, this is off. This is 10 cents off to Circa. It's 18 cents off to Pinnacle. Minus 130. That looks really good. Okay. What else we got? Brian Thomas Jr. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah. This is, again, look at this. Look, this is exactly what you want, guys. ESPN Bet. Pinnacle moving in a certain direction. FanDuel then follows. Look at the green line. They follow Pinnacle's movement shortly thereafter. So confirmation from two books that it moves in a certain direction. I like that. I definitely like this play. Brian Thomas Jr. Again, if you were going to rock an SGP here, guys, you wouldn't. It's two different books. So if there's some type of boost that you can receive, that's awesome. I most likely like to just bet these as just single straight wagers. So I'm going to come over here and look at the Bengals and the Jaguars. And I'm going to look at this Chase Brown play first. It's a very large bet. Minus 130. All right. They moved it to minus 140. So Chase Brown's not at minus 130 anymore, which means there's probably not an edge. There's a smaller edge. It's like $75, which really, really stinks. So we'll throw it on. Well, I'll still take the Chase Brown play, but it's just not as good as it once was. And you have to move quickly, guys. And so the whole idea that we're going after player props here, guys, is that most casual sports bettors are getting ready to start placing some bets, if not now, within the next 60 minutes on these NFL games. And so what we're looking to do is hopefully, mask our sharpness when it comes to this. That's the idea behind placing these bets right now. Let me see if I have. Can't remember if I have any money in ESPN bet or not. Can't remember. But if I do, we're going to place this on Brian Thomas Jr. Outside of Brian Thomas Jr., for some others. Oh, yeah, we got some money over there. $120 wager. Okay. All right, let's go over here. NFL. And we're looking for bingo, 145. I will put a nice $125 on this. I just like 125. Okay, Brian Thomas Jr., we're in on him for $125. I like that. Put my money where my mouth is. What else do we got? Let's refresh the page. Tyreek, plus 161 for $99 on PrizePicks. This is almost 30 cents off, which I can get down with. Now, you can see where the under's placed at minus 222. Pinnacle sees it at minus 161. So here's the thing, guys. If you're trying to figure out these exchanges, here's how I would look at it. See how Circa and Pinnacle, they're while they're 19 cents off, it's not like he's there at minus 222. So you have two different sharp books that if you took the average odds between plus 132 and plus 155, that's what, 23 cents. So let's chop it down the middle. We're looking at like maybe a plus 144, right? This is still a really good play over here on Tyreek at plus 161. I'd bet this on PrizePicks. There's only $100 in liquidity. I'm not scared of this at all. Okay. Oh, no, you can't get that on Onyx anymore. So what else do we have? Chuba. Now here's the difference. Chuba, there's $3,800 in this market. That's way different than what we just saw. Way different than what we just saw before. So what I would say is that that's a lot of money. No Vig's got 3,800. PrizePicks has 3,800. I wish we knew what the max wager was over here on Pinnacle. I'm going to argue that it's not $3,800. I personally don't really want to touch this Chuba Hubbard play because it's just not something that you can't get Pinnacle's line right now. I don't really like that. It's too much liquidity for me. But Justin Jefferson, David Montgomery, again, this would be something I'd go after. Again, Achan's line, guys, we got it at plus 105. It just moved to plus 100. Still a good play. Not as good as it once was. You want to go after that. Let me catch up. Onyx has 100% SGP boost again today. Oh, we got to hit that up for sure. Okay, so if Onyx has an SGP boost, honestly, this is where I'd probably take Tyreek over. Where's he at right now? 145? Yeah. I would take Tyreek. I'd go after the Dolphins game. Okay, guys? So Tyreek to score a touchdown. Achan to score a touchdown. Those would be my two. And then we got to figure out what the third leg is. These are all still plays maybe worth going after. CD. Love these Fanatics plays. These Fanatics plays are going to be here for a minute. And so, again, I'm just going to go over here and probably rock this Justin Jefferson play. I really like that. Okay, let's grab that. Monty, I like that. So we're going to rock a two-leg parlay here. Falcons, Vikings. I'm going to go over to Fanatics, and I'm going to throw this in. And this might be a $75, $50, maybe a $50 play. They got that $100 game day boost, guys. So Fanatics has a really good promo right now where they're offering their game day guarantee, which is really, really nice. I just want to make sure that I locked in their game day guarantee. But, all right, so I'm just going to go grab this real quick, and then we're going to take a look at this Dolphins game. Because if it's an SGP boost, we're going to just get off of markets, and we're just going to come to player props, and that's going to be good. So what we're just going to do here is just type in the Pats. I should type in Patriots. All right, Patriots and Dolphins. And then we talked about Achan. Tyreek to score a touchdown, I'm cool with. And then what else? Do we see another? We don't see any other logos for DraftKings or Onyx. So this is where we're going to look at, hey, correlation, Tua to throw 2 touchdowns or more. Achan and, I mean, that would be the play. That's the smash play. Tua over 1.5 passing touchdowns, anytime touchdown, Achane and Tyreek, right? Both. Now, I know that these boys could get handed the ball off and run one in. That would be the play. That would be how I cook that up because it's highly correlated as well. I'm just going over here, guys, really quickly and grabbing my anytime touchdown scores. We get Monty. And then I got to wait till Sunday Night Football when it comes to Justin Jefferson. Sunday game day guarantee. We can put $100 here on this. And there we go. All right, so I'm in on this parlay now, which would be a nice one. David Montgomery, Justin Jefferson. And they got a nice thing going on, guys. If you lose, you get it back in fan cash, and you can actually bet with your fan cash. So you actually get just like a bonus bet. So over here on Onyx, let me fire this bad boy up. If you guys don't know, Onyx is a newer book. It's a solid book. And if you guys are seeing everything I'm doing here with OddsJam, guys, you want to try this 1 week for free, use code Billy35, and you're going to get yourself 35% off your first month after the 1 week trial ends. So I have to make just a quick little, I think it's a $10 max bet, right? So I grab Tua here. I grab Achane. We want the touchdown. I want that. And then I want Tyreek as well. And I'm making my deposit. We're going to come up here. And same thing, right? If we're putting in $10, how do we know if this is actually a good play, right? Because right now, DraftKings would be, this is what they should be offering us. So understand, guys, when you're putting in SGPs in your parlay, OddsJam is going to tell you the price that you should be receiving. But the sports books know this, and that's not the price that they're going to give us. But because it's 100% SGP boost, this is a really good play. All right, so we're in over here. So let me go over here and let's fire this bad boy up. So I'm going to share my phone with you guys. So we should be getting odds of plus 870, but that's not going to be the case. So over here on Onyx, you guys can see, wait a minute, do I not have it? Is there no, where's my promo? I know Skunky's not lying to me. It's just that, like, bro, where's the promo? 100 free picks, SGPs. Let me know if you guys are seeing, because I'm not going to place this bet if I don't got a promo. If there's no promo here, let me just make up a random SGPs, right? If I take the Jaguars and I take the under and I take T. Higgins, do I get anything? No. There's nothing. Well, that's really disappointing. You had to log back out and log back in. Let me log out and log back in then, Skunky. Let me go to my account really quick. Okay, logged out. Let me try this again. Because normally, like I pin my websites, like Onyx is pinned. Now I used it last week. I used my SGP boost last week. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. It's not popping up for me. Maybe I got limited. I don't know. All right, well, we'll move on from that. That's an unfortunate one. But if you guys have it, use it. That's how I would use it, though, right? Because the Achane plays plus EV. But really, whatever you want to bet your opinions on, it's going to be fairly plus EV because of what's being offered. Tyrell, live ARBs today, brother. It's not going to happen today. It'll be this week. Again, I've had 2 straight buddies fly in from out of town, back-to-back days, back-to-back weeks. And so I have another friend that's coming in today. We're actually going to be focused a little bit more on live betting, but I haven't seen him in a couple months. So we're just going to kind of sit on the couch, watch games on Red Zone and live bet together. But there will be some, we'll look to hit some live ARBs up for sure as we get a little bit later into the season, further down the road. It'll be something that I'll definitely look to do. Yeah, Skunky, even if it was limited, it's still solid. Had to make it was claimed for it to work. Gotcha, Ken. Appreciate that. All right, so let's see what we got. Sportsino, guys, if you don't know, Sportsino is a great time. It's going to be a really, really easy book to go after. This is one of those books like Fanatics. You don't really have to mega brain this too much. it's just an easier book to make money on. Like they're offering plus 100 odds on Brian Thomas Jr. Everybody has average odds of minus 129. And this isn't even a palpable error. This is just Sportzino. This is just Sportzino that offers like incredible prices. Jonnu Smith, plus 110 under 3.5 catches. All the other books are at like minus 115 odds. So if you don't know, Sportzino, you'll get limited fairly quickly, but you're going to have a great time before you do that. And so if you are someone that is getting into sports betting, starting out, I would honestly save Sportzino and put it off to the side, right? I don't want you to get limited on Sportzino because you're betting $5 and $10. A lot of people have this misconception that if you're only betting like $10, you're not going to get limited. And that's just not true. You're going to get limited. These sports books are going to look at your betting history. They're going to see that you're getting incredible, the price that you bet it at compared to the price where it closed, the closing line value. You got an incredible price. They're not going to be very happy with that. So you don't have to necessarily be wagering $500 to $5,000 on plays to get limited. You can get limited betting $10, $15. You might have a little bit longer of a run with the book and not get limited as quickly, but you still will get limited because you're getting a great price time and time again, and that's not a customer that the sportsbook wants. Check out my new video, guys, too, that I dropped a couple days ago on the YouTube channel talking about the twisted game of sports betting and how you can win at it. So Kenneth Walker, Hard Rock MGM, not a lot to think about here. This is a pretty much slam dunk smash, right? We're getting a great price. This is an ARB to bet 105. This is an ARB to Pinnacle, right? The market's crossed. Whenever the plus odds number on the under is larger than the minus odds, like we talked about before, that's an ARB. You can make really good money on these books. If you wanted to day trade this with Bovada and BetMGM, you could do that. Jahmyr Gibbs under on his rushing attempts. Some of these plays you don't have to look too deep into. They're just pretty simple. Hit it and move on. I would say the same here. While DraftKings is at minus 107, I'll take a look at some movement here. We can add in DraftKings. Again, guys, this is the Platinum Playing with OddsJam. When you ask for the 1-week free trial or go sign up for it, make sure you talk to the team and say, Billy told me I can get Platinum 1 week for free. So what you're going to see is this line group movement, right? This historical line chart, which is very powerful as when you're betting player props, right? Because the liquidity is a little less on the player props compared to money line spreads and totals, right? Pinnacle's going to take $50,000 on a money line right now on the Giants and the Cowboys. Pinnacle might only take $1,000 on Jahmyr Gibbs on his player rushing attempts. That's a really big difference. So having this line graph and seeing where certain books are is important. So somewhere around 4 hours ago, Pinnacle was at minus 119, dropped to minus 139. They've retreated a bit to minus 129. But again, FanDuel had something similar. They were at minus 102. You could see that FanDuel, the green line, followed Pinnacle's action shortly thereafter. This is a very common theme, guys, with recreational sports books. A sharp book moves, and then shortly after, the rec book moves, like FanDuel. So they were at minus 102, went to minus 130, and then went back to minus 114. But that's still 12 cents off of where they started at minus 102. So that's a big deal, right? So this is where we're going to want to go after MGM on this play. Leggett over 3.5 catches. This one's pretty simple. This is over 20 cents off to FanDuel. It's an ARB to Pinnacle. It's an ARB to Bookmaker. I would bet this all day long over a Desert Diamond. I just don't know how much they're going to let me wager, which probably now is pennies. Where's the Panthers game at? By the way, I know Bryce Young looked horrible yesterday. So Leggett over 3.5 catches. I'm looking at player offense, and then you go to player receiving. Come down here. I don't know if this will be his main line or not. Probably not. No, it's at 2.5. So you get 4 catches. OddsJam's telling me to bet $180. They won't take this action from me, though. We'll try $7.91. There we go. Okay, got that for $7.91. So looks like across the board now, this might be cooked. We'll have to bet some other sports to see if this Desert Diamond account's cooked. But to be fair, this was a Desert Diamond account that I got limited on like 2+ years ago. And now I got it back, and I had a nice little run with it. So that was fun. Okay. Kyler Murray. I'm gonna say that you don't have to really think too heavy and hard about this one. Over 21.5 passing completions. Okay, Pinnacle's they were way down at -112, now up to +100, but it's still 25 cents off. And you can see DraftKings just moved from +120 to +115. Small movement. I would go after Fanatics on this. Don't overthink Fanatics. Don't overthink MGM. Don't overthink Sportzino. Easier books. Zay Flowers under on his catches on DraftKings. Yeah, I mean, it's 15 cents off to FanDuel, which is okay. 17. This is 23. Again, this would be the Onyx play. Now, the problem with this play is that there isn't any movement up or down from any of the books. They're all just steady. So that's kind of a tough one. If anything, DraftKings moved the most, right? But that's the tough one. But still, this is 23 cents off, and this is an ARB to Pinnacle. So I'm going to go bet this on Onyx. My $50 that I just deposited, this is going to go over on Onyx. Zay Flowers under 4.5 catches. Where's it at? There it is. And I'm going to tell you guys, once I make this bet, this market's going to move. It's most likely going to move. Okay, we're in. Hopefully it doesn't, and you guys can still get it. But we're in for 50 on Onyx. Should have bet more than that, but obviously that's just what I had in the account, so I'll take it. Very probably high chance he lands exactly on 4 catches. Daniel Jones, under on his rushing attempts. That's gone. That was bet openly. How about Khalil Shakir? Only $11. But again, the under looks decent. Looks good to bookmaker and Pinnacle, maybe not so much to Circa. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So you guys could see, we could spend all day here betting on the NFL. Could you imagine what it's like when the NBA comes back? It's going to be a great time. Okay, guys, I am going to go put this vitamin water down and have some tea. My throat is killing me. And I'm going to kind of just chill for a minute. But as you guys can see, we're still over 5% EV edge plays, DVigging the Pinnacle over here. It's a great time to bet player props right now. There are tons of opportunities. Even if you don't have a Sportzino, which Sportzino provides quite a bit, you're going to see that it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time to grab these plays. If you got a DraftKings or Onyx account, right? Good time. So check these out, guys. ProfitX, no vig, bet openly. These are all books like Onyx. Those are 4 books that you could utilize if you maybe live in a California or you live in a Texas. So check it out. Hopefully you guys are have an awesome Sunday. I'll be back on tomorrow, assuming that my health will be fine, which I expect it will be, at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. We're going to kind of take a look at the games, look at the Monday night game. We have 2 Monday night games tomorrow. But otherwise, guys, appreciate the support. Enjoy your Sunday. And if nothing else, I'll talk to you guys manana.